Hi, I'm Matilda Chungo, and today with me is Mr. Chipangano Malowa, a business law expert. Welcome, Mr. Chipangano.
Thank you so very much, and welcome to the audience.
So, I know that you've created a business law course, which I'm very excited about and I truly believe in. And I think it's amazing what you're doing. So, I wanted you to tell us a bit more. What is business law in the simplest of terms?
All right, so in the simplest of terms, when we're looking at business law, we are talking about a law that regulates business. You have got a lot of people that are into business and they are running different types of businesses. What laws are available for them to be able to rely on as they are conducting that business? A person who is entering into a contract, there's the law of contract, which is going to regulate the contracts that they have entered into. They want to know if the contract that they have entered into is a binding contract or it's not a binding contract. They want to know how they can terminate that contract. A person who is interacting with the public, all right, they want to know how they are interacting with the public. For example, you have got a lodge, all right. The people that are coming onto your premises, are they safe or they are not safe? If they get injured on your premises, then they have got the right to sue the business so that they are compensated. Why? Because you as a business owner, you are responsible for the safety of everyone who is entering onto your premises, whether they have got a contract with you or they don't have a contract with you, but they are going to sue under tort, and you don't want to have such liabilities. You want to be safe as you are conducting your business. You who is operating a transport business, you want to know what terms are there when it comes to transportation. What are the unwritten terms?
Yeah.
You would have a contract properly, everything is written down, but there are terms which are not written down and they are binding. So how do you go about those terms? So it is important for every person who is a business person to know about law, to know the laws which are operating, regulating their business, and not just that, the public that is interacting with that business, they need to know about what their rights are, about what type of contracts they are entering into at any one time with a business.
And so when I actually heard of your course and we were talking, I was very intrigued and pretty much interested in learning more, because I do business, I run business, I've been doing business for a few years, and I do understand what, the background of saying you come across contracts, you come across business opportunities, you want to know and not say, I didn't know, and then find yourself in problems, right? But when you were creating this course, whom did you have in mind? Was it only the business person, or is it whom exactly do you have in mind?
All right, so everybody is a target audience.
Okay.
I had everybody in mind. I had the politician in mind because the politician is found in parliament.
Yeah.
The one unique example that I would give, at the time when the president gave the politicians to read the constitution, before they go to sign in 2016, they read the constitution and voted, yeah. It was only much later that they got to realize that the constitution had a clause in it which said a person that does not have a grade 12 certificate is not eligible to stand. And it brought about a lot of, no, we do not say this. Mainly it's because of the ignorance. We need to know what this law is all about. So the politician must know, as they're in parliament, as they're making different laws, they need to understand what is the implication of the law that they have enacted. They need to understand what is it that they are debating on all the time when they're in parliament. The business person we have already talked about. An ordinary person must know about this law. Okay, I'm thinking about this ordinary person. All the time they go and buy Chihuahua. There's a law, there's a contract that is formed between the seller and the buyer. Okay, what happens when they go home, they prepare that Chihuahua, and then all of a sudden the whole family gets sick?
Yeah, we've heard a lot of cases
Exactly.
where, people bought mushroom especially,
Yes.
and then the whole household is sick, or they got what is this? The name of the drink munkoyo.
Munkoyo.
You know,
Yes.
I've been having a problem with drinking
Yeah.
munkoyo anyhow because of that experience.
Yes.
So what do we do? So this is why you've created this course.
Precisely. You need to know what action are you going to take. We have got a very interesting case of the president, our late president Michael Chilufya-Sata, at one time where he found a foreign body in the Coca-Cola
Yes.
that he was taking. All right. So that is a celebrated case in Zambia because we continuously refer to it. What happens when you have bought something and that thing that you have bought, especially in relation to food, makes you sick? How many times have we heard during Christmas that people went and they got our local brew and they drank and then afterwards they died? Then what action is there to take? Which court are you going to go to? All right, and what will be the cause of action? All these things, the people that are involved, I had them in mind so that they should know about the law which is there, which is going to govern them when it comes to issues that have to do with business, or even when they are relating with the police. How many times have we had encounters with the police?
I've had encounters where I'm completely blank, and I hate that because I want to be able, I'm not saying I want to break the law, but I want to be able to know how I interact with certain officers, what my behavior should be.
Yes.
And not when you go there and you're completely blank. And it's dangerous because whenever you enter a room and you're ignorant, it's really exposing yourself.
It is. You need to know what is a criminal offense and what is a civil issue.
Yeah.
You know, the police are not mandated to deal with civil matters. The police are supposed to deal with criminal matters. So all the time when you go to the police and they've called you for an issue, you need to understand, is this issue a civil issue or it is a criminal issue? I am having a problem with my wife, okay, and what problem is that? I promised my wife that I'm going to give her 5,000 kwacha, and I've not given her that 5,000 kwacha. She has taken me to the police and she says, can you intervene in this? How does the police come in? Okay, so where I am ignorant, the police are going to right? I'm ignorant, okay? And there are very few officers who are going to educate you on what your rights are and the mandate that they have when it comes to such issues. But when you know as a citizen, when you know as a person, you'll be able to say, I don't know why this matter has come to the police because this is a civil matter. If she has got a problem, she can take me to court, period.
So now that you have spoken about the importance of having knowledge of business and business law, actually, what don't you think it will replace a lawyer?
Not really. A lawyer is not replaceable.
Okay.
To a certain extent, we are talking about me having this knowledge, and when I have this knowledge, I don't constantly have to go to the lawyer to say, am I entering into a contract now? Or what are the terms of this contract? Or what? Because I have the knowledge. Now that I have got the legal knowledge, I'm able to understand the documentation, I'm able to understand my actions, I'm able to understand where I am liable for different actions or inactions, all right? But a lawyer has got technical expertise, okay? They are able to generate documentation which will go to court. They know that any action that they are taking, it can land into court and it is going to be interpreted in a certain way. Even what I will prepare as a person who is not an advocate, I'll talk about advocacy, you will remind me. As a person who is not an advocate, a contract that I'm going to prepare is very, very different from what an advocate would prepare.
Okay.
Yes, because they know the legal issues which are there. They know what is likely to take me to court and I may win or I may lose or I'll become liable. All right.
Okay.
But for me, as an ordinary person who has done a business law course, it does not click. All right. So I was saying, in Zambia, we have got difference between a lawyer and an advocate.
Okay.
A person who has a degree in law is a lawyer.
Okay.
All right. They have gone to university, they have gone to UNZA, they have gone to Copperbelt University, they have studied law, they have completed, those guys are lawyers. But when we're talking about an advocate, this is a person that has been admitted to the bar.
Okay.
They have gone to Ciale, they have studied those which you hear, oh no, they failed and only 3 passed. And like those who pass and make it to the bar, those are called advocates.
Okay.
So they are able to represent people in court, in the High Court, and they have got very good understanding of the technical areas of the law and the documentation which is supposed to be taken. So this course does not replace a lawyer.
It's good you've actually explained, because I didn't know there was a difference between a lawyer and an advocate.
Yeah.
I actually thought they were all lawyers. I could just call them a lawyer, and then there wasn't any distinction. But that's what we mean. That's the importance of such interactions, because it brings a lot of information to the front.
Yeah.
Now, how does one go about it? Because first of all, I can imagine that most people right now in Zambia or in Africa are busy. You already have a full-time job, and you don't want to go back to school to get the law degree or study law or set aside that time. And this is why you've created the course. So how have you designed the course? Is it so compacted that I will be writing tests and exams and, which as adults sometimes that's not our favorite thing to do.
Exactly. This is a down-to-earth course.
Okay.
We are going to explain the terminology that is there in law, so that a person who has not been in a law class will get to understand it.
Okay.
An ordinary person should get to understand. Mainly, we find ourselves on the wrong side of the law because we do not know, and ignorance is no defense when it comes to law. All right, because this law is basically available for us. It has been simplified. It is easy for a person who is studying law, so that they get to pass. There's no way that a person who is studying law is going to listen to this and get to fail in a law class. They'll understand what contract is. They'll understand employment law. They'll understand sale of goods. They'll understand aspects of intellectual property. So all these things, they are going to understand them. And an ordinary person is supposed to understand, because we are going to break it down and to their level so that they get to apply whatever that we are talking about.
Okay. So if I get you correctly, what your business law course is aiming to do is actually just bring out those concepts that seem, sometimes when you're looking from the outside in, it looks like a lion or a giant.
Exactly.
And bringing them down to an ordinary citizen or somebody who's doing law school, and just, people that do not know the law like that, they're encountering it for the very first time.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about in an area where you have an employee? Now, I know some employers may feel like this course now is going to bring fire in my organization. But what an employee is somebody who's working for an ordinary company.
Yeah.
Should they take this course? What does it mean for them?
An employee must take this course. It is very important. You want to understand what makes you an employee. We always say, okay, I'm an employee. Okay, so what is it that makes you an employee? You'd be surprised. There are so many people, employees, in this country who are working, but they don't have a contract. So they don't have a contract. They do not know the terms of their engagement.
Yeah.
They don't know what they are entitled to. So these are the people who are hired and fired at will, and they just go home. There's a law that protects you as an employee. You cannot just sit and not get paid. All right? If you're not getting paid, there's a law that is protecting you. So you must get to understand that when we're looking, employment law basically is part of the business law, and it is a stream of law in itself. All right? So understand, what are the duties of an employee? What are the duties of an employer? What if you get injured on the job? Who is supposed to take care of you? What facility is there if you die on the job? All right, is your wife or your husband part of the contract that you sign as an employee? You have been taken on a gardener at somebody's residence, and you are staying there, and the boss comes and gives work to your wife to say, ngerani munyumba mukazisuka mambali vamuna vanhu ndivamenaza mukonza panje. And at the end of the month, the salary is just coming for one person, who is your husband. What happens with you who is been working? Does the law allow that? So you need to get, if you are an employee and you do not know your rights, you'll be taken advantage of.
You know, I like that you've brought in the example of the gardener, because I've heard of a number of people that have lost properties to engaging a caretaker, for instance, put them on their property, and then now, you know, some time passes and things get complicated and sticky. They're in court.
Yes.
The caretaker is saying, this is my house.
Exactly.
And the owner of the property that's, you know, recorded on the title deed or whatever records says, no, I just got you for this. So there's that misunderstanding. And how do you know what is in the law for you, who is going to engage a caretaker to come onto your property? I think that is going to be very interesting to really learn about, because a lot of people are facing this challenge.
Yes.
Now, going over what we have discussed, I'm getting the idea that, and which I hope I'm correct, I'm getting the idea that this is a course that will allow any ordinary citizen, including myself, to say, if I'm in a situation where I don't have a lawyer with me, I'm able to understand what my behavior ought to be, what I am doing in that space.
Exactly.
And even if I get a contract and I can't call a lawyer and hire a lawyer immediately at that point, or I can't afford one, but at least I have a general idea of what is supposed to take place and what I'm supposed to be doing. Is that what it is?
That is what it is. And it's on a number of occasions, most of the times we are not with our lawyers.
Yeah.
And in all those occasions where we are not with our lawyers, we are engaging with the business in different ways, and our conduct at that time makes us to be, we need to understand the law. We need to know that our conduct is going to, I'll give you a typical example. There is a case, a celebrated case in law, it's called Khalil versus Kabolic Smoke Ball. So these two ladies, they go out and they're having ginger drink. And as they are having that drink, then there's a foreign body, a decomposed snail in the ginger drink. So this lady, after she consumes everything, she notices the decomposed, and she starts vomiting, and she's taken ill at hospital and what. She did not buy the drink, all right? She had no contract with the place where they were selling this drink. What was there available for her? But she went ahead and sued. We are going to talk about this when we're talking about the law of contract. She went ahead and sued, and she was compensated at the end of the day. That is where you have the knowledge of what you are supposed to do at any one point, what laws are there to protect you. So when you have got that as an ordinary person, you are liberated. You are liberated. You don't need a lawyer at any one time. You get to know, you get to understand, and even when you engage a lawyer, you know exactly what the issues are.
Okay. And I like that you say when you get to engage a lawyer, you can engage the right lawyer, because you know what type of case this is.
Precisely.
Is this a civil case? Is it a criminal case, as you mentioned? And you are able to actually shorten that time period of when you have a problem to when you actually get the final solution.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much. And I am so excited for this course. What parting words do you have for people that want to take this course?
I would encourage you to tune in, make sure that you get to listen, and listen good. It is going to be very beneficial for you. You are going to have a lot of knowledge, and on everyday issues that we are going through, you will know the law that is regulating that. On an everyday basis, when we are interacting with different businesses, including schools, transport, be it you have gone and to buy your vegetables, you will know what contract, what law is regulating your actions. And not just that, I'm hoping that by the end of this course, you will develop interest. You are going to develop interest so that you study law.
I don't know about that yet. I don't know about that yet because I know that there's a lot of work involved. But I cannot say I won't because life is full of surprises.
Great.
But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Remember, you can follow the link attached to this video and sign up for the business law course and get all the information that you need about business law. And transform your life, protect your business, protect your interests for a better tomorrow. Because I know I'm definitely taking this course and it's going to be amazing. So see you soon. Bye-bye.
Great. Bye.